Okay, if you are tired of feeling stuck in your current career position, I highly, highly suggest you to try the law of assumption. So the law of assumption is all about believing that your desires are already fulfilled. Okay, so for example, in corporate world, this means that assuming that you have already achieved your career goals. I know, it might seem weird, but it works. Why? Because I tried it, tested out, and by far, this is the method that has worked it out for me. Okay. So by living in the end result and feeling as if you already have that promotion, already have that praise or that recognition that you desire, you align your energy, right? You raise up your energy with your goals and bring them into your reality. So your subconscious mind plays a crucial a crucial role in this law of assumption. So to manifest your career success, you need to feed your subconscious mind. It's like food, right? You need to feed it with that positive thoughts and belief that the professional growth is here. So you have to prime it by visualizing yourself in your desired position and create that affirmation inside your head that reinforces your belief and your abilities to achieve that goal. So some of the practical steps that I have taken and tested out, and that also you can apply, is that visualizing my success. Okay. So I spend time each day visualizing my own desired position and feeling the emotions and the sensations associated with that role or with that success for me, right? So I desired a specific position, and then I studied how does that person look like? How does she walk? How does she feel? How does she speak? How does she think? How does her day look like, right? And you could also watch some of, one of those what's called a day in my life videos that would help you immensely. Okay. So then you can visualize yourself doing that exact thing in your own time or at your own space. Okay. So the more you visualize it, the more you are priming, rewiring your subconscious brain. Okay. So visualization is the first thing that I did. Second is that I created affirmations that are in line to my heart and which I think is easier to believe. So, such as, I am a confident and a capable leader. Even though I was not a leader at that time, I started affirming that way. And first, it felt like a lie. I started repeating those affirmations daily to reprogram my subconscious mind. There was a time that I had to journal or write this affirmation three times in the morning, three times during lunchtime, and three times before I go to bed. Like I was on top of the game. I wanted to be a leader so bad that I wanted to do all the work that I need to do. Visualize, affirm, and act as if. Okay. So then when I started presenting myself in the office environment, there are a couple of days that I'm going into office, even though I was not a leader, I started acting as a leader. And then I changed my mentor. So then I started observing those leaders or known leaders or that are already managers. So I started observing like, where do they eat lunch? How do they speak? How do they sit? How does their day look like? Right? How does their calendar look like? Do they have meetings all day long? Right? So rather than me sitting and coding, then I started having, meetings in my calendar. That is a part of my act as if, even though I didn't have a meeting, I know it feels weird. Even though I didn't have my meeting, for each task that I'm going to do that day, I started logging it in my calendar as if I am having a meeting. I start the meeting and the meeting invite. I click the meeting, log into the meeting, even though I am by myself and work while I am inside that Teams meeting. I know it feels weird, but okay, please don't judge me. This was one of my, some of the practices that I have done that were aligned to my heart and easier to do. So that was my active hack. So even though I came from, a science background and everything had to make sense, I had this innate belief that we are meant to be here and have a higher goal to achieve. So why not? Like we are created with that power, and if I just decided not to give it up. That's it. I just decided not to give it up. And if I know that I'm powerful, and science is proving it now that the mind is powerful, then I started, tweaking and rewiring my subconscious beliefs that I'm not good enough, and literally had to work through so many bullshit crap beliefs that were limiting me. And visualization is one thing that I've done. So I started from visualization and then to the affirmation, and then they act as if, okay, some people it's easier for them to fake it until they make it. For me, it was the reverse. I had to believe it. I had to believe in myself in order to act as if. Since the act as if part was a little bit difficult for me, then I started coming up with an easier hacks that I could employ. So, for example, when I looked at the leaders there, what differed them from the rest of us, which are like me being a software developer and the other person being a people manager and a team leader, I see them wearing blazers, which I never used to wear. So the only thing that I changed for me that was like a next step for me for acting as if is basically just wearing a blazer. That's it. So I was wearing a blazer for a couple of days, and then I started, implementing the little things step by step. So I started having meetings and work side by side because, like, soon if I am going to be transitioning to the role, then I see them having and sitting in meetings. So for me, then I decided rather than sitting and coding and developing, then I started taking on the roles of like sitting in a boardroom as a technical expert and sitting in the meeting room for the whole day. And one of those crazy meetings, like strategic meetings, I started sitting there even though I was not contributing because that was an easier hack for me to act as if. So I know when you hear about this whole thing about law of attraction, law of assumption, and like all of those stuff, like it might seem like it's a woo woo. And I understand why, because we have never been told that we have the power. We have always been told that somebody else is deciding, somebody else is giving you the promotion, somebody else is giving you the rent, somebody else is deciding your salary. So all of a sudden, when this kind of law of attraction, law of assumption comes into play, and when you hear it from other people, you don't definitely think that it would work because your success has always been through a hard work. And what is this hack? Like, is it a shortcut? Like, I have always worked hard for what I do. Duh. But then you end up looking at people who are achieving more than you, even though they are putting less effort. And definitely they're using their brain power. And as soon as you identify that you have that brain power, duh, why not use it? If that is the easier route to get you the success, why suffer, right? Like I started learning about metaphysics. I started, looking at different scientific aspects of this so-called law. I started reading about the books I read a couple of books from Dr. Joe Dispenza. And all of those accumulated and everything started making sense. And then I read about, I've always been reading about the self-help books, the Atomic Habit, for example. The secret for success is not, your smartness, it's consistency and the showing up. And he was showing the steps on, how you can improve each day with 1%. I implemented that in this process where I tried to simplify every single thing, simplify the visualization, simplify making it so easy for me, making it believable, making it actionable, making it visible, right? Those are some of the techniques that you can find in Atomic Habit. I implemented all of them, and at the end, everything started shifting. I have started looking at things differently. My energy was different. I see like things radically changing. Like things started orchestrating accordingly when I was consistently showing up for my visualization. consistently doing my affirmation, putting my stickers on my laptop, like on my laptop screen, sometimes on my keyboard to see them all the time. Making it easy for me to journal and to embody it, making things so easy to act as it. Don't struggle all the time. If there is an easy way to practice all of this and get what you want, use your brain power. There are so many books that could guide you and help you make them so easy. You don't even have to struggle with the process of what is the law of assumption, law of attraction. Just start small and start off like with 1% improvement, where you could change maybe just one thing in your life, which is a very small, tiny thing. It could be affirmations in the morning when you are brushing your teeth, like I am powerful, I am good enough, I deserve this salary, I deserve the raise. Like it could be some small self-talk change that you can do while you're brushing your teeth. Those things will help you to be consistent, and then at the end to get your results. So by understanding the power of your subconscious mind and taking practical steps to apply the law of assumption, you can create the professional life of your dreams. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more empowering content. Up until next time, I'm sending you love and light and happy manifestation.